Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and welcome if this is your first visit. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please remember to hit the subscribe button. Today, this is going to be outside my usual weekly energy oracle card forecast video, but it's a question that I've been getting a lot in personal readings recently. So I thought if it's coming up that frequently in personal readings for people, it must be kind of a buzz in the collective consciousness. So I just wanted to make a quick video to address my understanding of soulmate relationships and twin flame relationships and the difference between the two and what I've been shown in the Akashic Records for both of these. So let's start with soulmates. What I've been shown in the Akashic Records and intuitively about soulmates is that we all have many soulmates. So soulmate relationships, it's a term that is used so frequently, like, I need to meet my soulmate. I can't wait to meet my soulmate. Am I going to meet my soulmate in this lifetime? That's something that comes up a lot in readings. Am I going to meet my soulmate? And what I've been shown is maybe a spin on the definition or the common definition of what a soulmate really is. I am shown that we all have many soulmates. And a soulmate is simply someone that we have chosen to incarnate with, who we have kind of a soul pact with on the other side in spirit form, in soul form. So it could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a coworker, it could be your best friend, or it could be a romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to be. It can be anybody that you have a soul connection with on the other side. So think how many of those soul connections we've formed over all of our lifetimes. That's why so many times we meet someone and it's like this kind of energetic connection, because it truly is an energetic connection. It's kind of an energetic cord that we've formed through these lifetimes together, through our souls knowing each other on the other side. So we're going to feel a connection. Like if you've ever met somebody and you're like, boy, I feel like I've really connected with that person before, or we connected really quickly, or we connected on a deeper level than I've ever connected with anyone else, or I just feel like I know this person. That's all a soul level connection. And that's something we form on the other side. And they come with us. Sometimes we make agreements on the other side for people to come with us to help us learn lessons when we're here on Earth in human form. So say you want to learn a lesson about compassion, for example. You might choose a mom or a dad or a grandma or somebody in your immediate, normally this is a lesson with somebody in our immediate nuclear family, who is the opposite of that. You might have had a really rough childhood. You might have not connected or felt separate from, or like you didn't belong with your birth family. That's because we chose to learn the lesson of compassion, and in order to learn that lesson, we have to experience sometimes, not always, but at some point along our journey, we will experience the opposite polarity of that. So we'll be exposed to somebody who is not compassionate or not kind to us. So that's just one example of a soulmate connection, or how I'm shown a soulmate connection manifests itself while we're in human form. And the people, I can tell you, the people we have the most difficult relationships with here on Earth in human form, that we go through the most difficult experiences and most difficult lessons with, are the people we are closest to in soul form. So they're the ones that we really, really, really trust on the other side. You know, that's who you pick to really go through these lessons with you when you're in human form, or the people that you know will catch you when you fall on the other side. Because these experiences and these lessons we sign up for here on Earth can seem absolutely devastating. Some of the stuff we go through in human form, and just very trying and very difficult and very hard. But on the other side, it's like this. It's just like a pop quiz. we're talking about infinity and so many lifetimes and so many lessons we've learned, that when we're over there, we are really optimistic and we are like, yes, of course I will sign up for that devastating experience. No problem. My soul really wants to learn about that. So sign me up, please. And then we get here and it seems so much more difficult because we forget all of that. But just know that the people you have the most difficulties with, the most trying experiences with, are the people that you are closest to in soul form. So that is my understanding of soulmate relationships. Twin flame relationships, which are becoming more and more common. I think more and more twin flames are incarnating together these days. And I think that is probably to raise well, not probably, it's what I'm shown in the Akashic Records. It is to raise the vibration of the earth, and it's to raise the collective consciousness, because the purpose of a twin flame is for two wholly evolved souls, energetically evolved souls, to come together for a mission. And that mission doesn't have to be terribly grand. It can be as simple as making people around you feel better about themselves. But it's two people wholly evolved who come together to complete their mission here on Earth, to raise the vibration of the collective consciousness, to make the lives of those around them better, and to sort of fulfill their purpose as a soul, to fulfill their lesson as a soul. And I think that's why we're seeing more and more twin flame unions, is people have really been working on themselves, really working on furthering their soul's growth, so that when they do get into a relationship, they're whole and healthy and able to draw their twin flame to themselves. So twin flames, to explain a little bit more about the origination of that, or what I'm shown in the records, I am shown, and I know this maybe isn't everybody's understanding or belief, but what I'm shown from the Akashic Records when I ask about this topic is that everyone has a twin flame. Every soul has a twin flame. It doesn't mean that that person is here on Earth. I am shown that there are two halves to every soul, just like there's masculine and feminine, divine masculine, divine feminine. There's yin and yang. There's positive polarity and negative polarity. I'm shown that there are two halves to every soul. And we don't always come in together. Now, like I said, more and more are choosing to right now to raise the vibration of the collective consciousness, but we don't always. So in one scenario, one half of the soul incarnates and chooses to work on the positive or negative polarity, or both, of whatever the soul experience is. The other half of the soul stays in soul form on the other side, to guide, to act as one of the person's guides. So they will always be there to act as a guide. And that's something we can find out in the Akashic Records if you're interested in determining if your twin flame is incarnate and here on Earth, and if you're going to form a union with them during this lifetime, or if they're on the other side, then you can know you're not going to run into them at this one. Or if you're in a relationship and you want to know if that person's your twin flame, we can determine these things in the records. It's very interesting and very helpful, I think, because with a twin flame journey, there are a lot of different phases emotionally and energetically that you go through before you're both healthy, whole people that can merge together into a healthy union. So there are a lot of different phases, and if you want to know more about that, there's a ton of stuff on the internet about the runner phase and the different phases you go through. If you meet your twin flame before you're fully evolved energetically, then there may be some issues. If you meet after you're fully evolved and you're healthy, whole souls, then it's, smooth sailing. So twin flames, again, what I'm shown is everybody has one. So that's probably the biggest question. But what I'm shown in the Akashic Records is everybody has one. They're not always here at the same time you are. If they're not here at the same time you are, they're on the other side guiding you as a soul. And the process for connecting with them would be the same as connecting with your higher self through meditation, because they are kind of like your higher self. So My process for connecting with my higher self is just visualizing a gold cord from my crown chakra going up to that kind of other side, or that, soul space, that higher vibration energy, and connecting with that wisdom from my higher self. You would use the same process to connect with your twin flame if they are in soul form, and their guidance is always there for you, just as much as your guidance from your own higher self is there for you. If they are here, then many times we meet them, even if they are across the country from you, even if they are a much different age group than you, even if they are maybe the same sex and you've never been in same-sex relationships before. These are relationships that are like magnetically drawn to us, because if we incarnate at the same time, we are drawn to each other like magnets. It doesn't mean it always works, because, like I said, it depends how evolved each soul is on their path as to how easy that relationship unfolds. So there are many, many people who have met their twin flame here on Earth who didn't end up in a viable relationship, a viable romantic relationship with them. Because they can be very trying relationships if we're not both ready for them. If both parties are ready for it, then it is a very compatible relationship. It is like meeting the other half of yourself. If you're not ready, it sort of mirrors everything that you still need to work on. It brings up on a soul level everything you still need to work on and resolve in order to further your soul's growth. So it's almost like a relationship that pushes buttons and forces us to face things in ourselves. And that's one of the things that is very trying about these relationships. But if everybody makes it through it, and everybody evolves properly, and everybody comes back together as a whole soul, then it's like the sort of ultimate incompatibility energetically, because it is literally the other half of your soul. So that is my understanding, just a little synopsis of soulmates versus twin flames and the information I have channeled from the Akashic Records about those two topics. I hope you find it helpful. If you have any questions, comment those down below. I love to talk about these things. And I will chat with you soon.